What up, YouTube? It's your man, Beefy Big Guns. And we out here! Woo! I'm excited about it. So, yo, we out here! Ew! The neighbors love it. This is a garden overview. I haven't done a lot of garden stuff yet because I know I'm going to be bringing it garden heavy for the rest of the summer. And there's a lot of stuff that goes into this. Part of me doesn't really want to get preachy about stuff before I prove that we can do it. And I think that we're finally to the point where we're proving that we can do it. This is just going to be an introduction for you guys into what our garden is right now. And you'll see us going forward from here, harvesting and doing chores in the garden. But you haven't seen a lot of that yet. It's all behind me. I can't wait to show you. So, all right, guys. This is the cold weather garden. These are our carrots up in the front. We have two different varieties, a rainbow mix and a small space positive orange one. We grew a variety of lettuces this year: oak leaf, butter crunch, red romaine, regular romaine. We're eating on it all the time. This is a very far along version of it. Eating the lettuce. This is the thing that we get the most mileage out of on our entire garden, for sure. Not even close. But I mean, it's not pretty. It's kind of just a big field of bolting lettuce at this point. In this little space here, we used to have spinach. That is all gone to bolt already now. And so we kind of cut that out of there and just made space for our Swiss chard. This is new to us this year. Swiss chard. We absolutely adore it. It tastes great and it gets huge. And we have absolutely no problems with the Swiss chard whatsoever. We will grow more of that in the future. Here we got our green kales, and this is just kind of a biomass crop for us. We eat it, we enjoy it, we cook it hard first almost every time. But the kales don't ever stop once they get established, and we like that about them. Here we got shelling peas back here. Our peas in the back that we trellis with. And these appear to have less flowers on them than they've had. So this plant might almost be done. But man, I just love coming out to the garden and getting into a mess of these babies. We got 7 more broccoli plants right in here. All in varied stages of producing broccoli. And I think that's just basically what the seedling had to go through early on in its life. We by no stretch of the imagination are pro gardeners. We're doing this to supplement our food, and we're learning as we go. 3 years on. 3 years into this, and this is what we got. But I'm going to take this opportunity to slice this broccoli. Practically as big as my head. So that is super fun. That really gets me excited. And again, we're not pros at this, but that's exciting. Man, that is fun to grow your own stuff like that. I mean, that's a portion. That's a meal for the fam. So here's our potatoes. Some of the varieties are going to flower already. We bury them about 10 inches down. I think we got this one variety over here at about a foot this year. We probably should be scooping dirt onto these additionally at this point and kind of covering the bottom. We aren't yet, but we're going to be doing shoring episodes coming up here, and that's definitely on the list. So you don't have to travel far in our garden to get to new places. This all right in here is the lower bed that we created last year. It's what we're calling the tomato bed. Not that it's going to be exclusively in tomatoes all the time, but that's what it is this year. So it's the tomato bed this year. In the cages close to me here, we have our Ace 55 paste tomatoes. And the Ace 55s are something we just discovered last year. I don't trim or prune these at all, sans getting them up off the ground. Getting the foliage so it doesn't collect dirt spray that will keep the foliage throughout the plant healthier. These plants had a little bit of plant transplant shock, and I heard them early on in their life by leaving them outside in the sun too long. When I was hardening them, I forgot to pull them back in after the morning sun, and they ended up catching afternoon sun and kind of got fried. Now, while that slowed them down, it didn't stop them, obviously, and they have now come around. They're fully established, and they are coming on pretty strong. We got a lot of good flowers in there, and we're very happy with that. So that's the 5 Ace 55s on this side. In between, to run along the ground in between our cages, we got squash plants that we put in this year. And while that squash is a little wonky looking, we've already harvested 2 that we put in a stir fry, and we got a lot more coming. I got a lot of indeterminate tomatoes on this back edge. I got 6 stems that we run into these lines and then take them up onto these, and we'll wrap these lines that are dangling down around the stem and keep them going up and off of the ground. This is a technique that I learned off the internet. There is a fella that has a show called Nature's Always Right, and he has a great tutorial on trellising tomatoes and running one vine tomatoes. I highly recommend that. But here's 8 tomatoes in the back here. As you can see, they're starting to set fruit already in many different instances. And they're not all the same. We got multiple varieties of tomatoes back here, including Brandywine, including some kind of early treat hybrid. But these are all the indeterminate ones. These are all indeterminate tomatoes, so we're running them vine and going up with them to get them out of the way of all of our caged tomatoes, which are our canning paste spaghetti sauce tomatoes. Now we have the Roma tomatoes that we have in these cages. Again, I don't trim them, but you can see these Romas are really setting fruit. They did not have a problem this year at all with me messing them up. These we kept really healthy and didn't harden them off too fast or inappropriately, and they're setting fruit really early for us, and we are really excited about how big this crop is going to be on all our 5 Roma plants. We have several different squash plants that we are running down next to and around our tomato plants. There you see right down there our first zucchini coming. Right there, right at the tip of that big flower. Where my girls at? Tomatillos right here. and we really adore tomatillos. We take these and we make them into our green salsa. And our green salsa is one of the favorite things that we make throughout the year. We take our own serranos and these tomatillos right here, and we make good green salsa that we really enjoy. So we like spicy food, and we do a lot of growing of spicy foods. Now, some of these are sweet peppers, not all of them. And we do a lot of pots. We found over time that all of the peppers that we like to grow seem to do better in a pot as opposed to growing them actually in the soil. And if you're asking me, judging from this little run right here, this year is going to be no different than that. Alright guys, outside of the fence we do a variety of different things. The soil that we're actually in here is so poor and hard that I don't even think it would grow vegetables if you'd planted right into it. So while these look like they're in ground, they actually are more like pots than anything, because we got to basically fill a hole in with dirt that's reasonable, and then the plants adapt into it. But running down the line here, we got green beans here, and the green beans are Blue Lake pole beans here, so they're climbing the fence, and those look good. They like rain. We got some rain. Those are going to be a lot of beans. Here's a bean. Here's a bean forming up right here. Finally seeing beans forming up. Very cool. Very nice. That wasn't there yesterday. As we go down the line, here we got pickle plants, and we're struggling with our cucumbers, something fierce this year. But they're finally starting to come on now, I think. And hopefully that gets trellised into that fence very soon, and we'll start getting some cucumbers out of it. But that's transplanting cucumbers and growing cucumbers from seed has been a consistent challenge for us. If you can shine any light onto how to make that better and do better with that, please let us know. That's the pickle pepper, or that's the pickle cucumbers. Here is the longer cucumbers, and those are starting to try to trellis now too, so that's awesome. I can see the little tendrils coming off right here. I'm hoping that these things can get into the fence eventually. They aren't there yet. But here's another different type of green bean, and these are the Kentucky Wonders. I'm a huge fan of these beans for a variety of reasons, and the last reason of that is because of how they eat. I don't really care to eat them that much. I put them in stock and stuff. Back here we got the squashes. This is a squash bed. We got squashes in here, and they're coming on. These are little acorn squashes, and while I don't exactly know how acorn squashes grow, I've never grown them before, these seem to be doing it all right now. We got butternut squashes here. I don't see any squashes on those yet. But, oh, there's a butternut squash right there. That wasn't there last night. So there you go. And then we had a really tough time this year with spaghetti squash. So that's the overview of the garden. We're super proud of it. We get a ton of food out of it. And you're going to be seeing me doing a lot more videos out here, kind of working on this stuff as we get further into the summer. But it's finally raining. We're finally really growing. We get so much food out of this without even leaving the backyard. It's unbelievable. It's like having your own produce section right in your backyard. So yeah, we love this. Huge part of what we do every year. Happy to introduce you to the garden today. We out here. We'll catch you on the next one.